Ian Sachs back here with Lohud's Josh Thomson, and we're just about 2 days removed from the announcement of Rick Pitino being named the next head men's basketball coach at Iona College. And Josh, let me get your initial reaction when you first heard the news.
It's interesting. I heard about it, rumors about it 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I still, myself, not from talking to anybody, but just my belief and just, seeing kind of what he had meant to the program over the years. I really thought Iona would, despite maybe some overtures or some interest from Pitino, I really thought Iona would just hire Jared Grasso. He had been with Tim Cluse for 8 years. They obviously had a lot of success, including 5 NCAA tournament trips. Obviously, a lot of success in the MAC, both in the regular season and in the postseason. And I just thought that because of what Cluse had done, winning 199 games in 9 years, having so much success in the league, honestly, he's probably the most successful coach in MAC history. I really just thought they would go with Grasso and try to kind of continue what Cluse had built with the program. I know that many people could say that this is, kind of just continuing Cluse's legacy in terms of trying to win and trying to win big. To me, this is taking the program in a different direction. Having said that, Rick Pitino is, considered one of the great college basketball coaches, both active and of all time. He's obviously had a ton of success, whether it was at Louisville or Kentucky or Providence or any of the stops where he's been. So I think that he's certainly somebody who is a game changer in terms of coaching and in terms of bringing excitement to your program. And I think you saw that over the weekend with the reaction. I think that there was just so much excitement with Pitino coming to New Rochelle, and so the question is that enough to kind of overcome some of the negatives or some of the thoughts that maybe some people had that they should just kind of go with Grasso? And I think that's the question that will be asked now for at least a year to come, if not more.
Certainly an interesting decision that the administration was left with between Grasso and Pitino. What do you think this hire means for both Iona and Pitino?
For Pitino, obviously, it gives him another chance to get back in college basketball and NCAA basketball. I know he'd been in Greece the last couple of years since he'd left Louisville after the 2017 season, and obviously he had success there. He's had success anywhere he's been, and I think that wasn't the question. I don't think anybody thought that if they hired Rick Pitino, their team wouldn't be successful. And I know that it's almost nothing in life is a guarantee, but you feel like if you're Iona and you hire Rick Pitino, you pretty much know that you're going to be successful in the years to come. His track record has kind of proven that. So, I think that's kind of what it means for them to kind of inject even more excitement and a chance to win on a high level, maybe get some schools on the schedule, maybe get on TV more, things like that can kind of expand the attention around the program and can help the school get its name out there. In terms of Pitino, it's just about getting back in the game. He said a lot to anybody who talked to him over the weekend about how this is going to be his last stop in coaching. He wanted to get back to a small Catholic school. He had such a great experience at Providence and et cetera, et cetera. I don't know that anybody believes that. I don't know that anybody thinks that he's his plan is to be here the rest of his career, to be here long term. I think if you think that, you're being a little bit naive. So what does it mean to Pitino? It means a chance to get back into coaching, and if it goes well, I think very soon, very early on in his stay at Iona, if it goes really well, I think there'll be some options that'll open up for him. And look, no doubt that's a big reason why, he's getting back into college basketball. Not saying he's here, he's one and done, or he'll be here short term, but certainly getting back, you're not going to get hired by a high major program if you have some of the history of transgressions that he has by being out of the game. Kind of now he's back in the game, and I think that kind of gives him a chance going forward. If he wants to, or he can stay at Iona for several years.
What do you think the likelihood is that he would jump from Iona to either a high major, potentially the Big East, or maybe a Power 5 conference?
Yeah, I think the only people that know that are Pitino himself, and then obviously the schools that would be interested in him. Would a bigger school be after 1 year or 2 years of success at Iona? Would a big school in a league like that be willing to make the jump? I think we've seen that many times before. There are plenty of people coaching college basketball, college football right now who have some issues in the past that had to overcome. I think Kelvin Sampson, right? He's at Houston. He's done a good job there. He's somebody who's had some issues over the years. Some other people you can think of certainly get second chances, third chances. Bruce Pearl is another guy, right? He's at Auburn. Has a lot of success there. He got in quite a bit of trouble at Tennessee, so it's not out of the realm of possibility to think that a school would give Pitino a shot. So, I guess that's something we'll see how it plays out. Obviously, he's going to have some success at Iona to interest people, but like I said, he's succeeded everywhere he's been, so there's no reason to think that won't happen here.
What do you think is going to be the biggest adjustment for Pitino coming back to the college game? He's been out of it for 3 years over in Greece and coming from a major level program in Louisville and the ACC, and now coming back to the mid-major ranks.
That's an interesting question. So I think that there are a lot of people who think that Rick Pitino and Tim Cluse play a similar style of basketball because both of their teams are known for getting up and down. But I actually think it's a fair amount different. I think, that it's going to require maybe him bringing in some different kind of players than Coach Cluse had brought into Iona. Look at the way Pitino's teams have played. They press. They're up in your face. They're playing you full court. And that is kind of what is triggering them to play well offensively, to get out on the break, and et cetera, et cetera. Cluse's teams, obviously, as you know, Ian, weren't known for their defense per se, but in terms of getting, playing with spacing, moving the ball, attempting and hitting three-point shots. And, they were up-tempo, but it was in a different way, where Pitino was known for these, gritty New York City-style players who weren't necessarily the most skilled guys, but could get up and down and could get in your face. And so I think he's going to have a different style of play here at Iona than Cluse did. There are a lot of changes that will be going on in the roster. Obviously, the team loses two best players, in E.J. Crawford and Tawan Agee. They were seniors this year. You have Sante Gist and Isaiah Washington coming back in the backcourt. Ross obviously had an excellent year. He's a really good three-point shooter. So you do have some talent back, but obviously there is plenty of scholarships, I guess, available for Pitino to make an impact. And so I could see him bringing in some different style of players, and that being a way that he'll have to kind of adjust the roster and change things. But I don't think there's any reason to think that he won't be able to do that successfully. I think there are a lot of people who are excited about him coming here, and you'll see Iona, especially I think in the transfer market or the junior college market, will probably do pretty well the next couple months.
Piggybacking off of that and where Pitino might go for recruiting, he's always been a good recruiter in the New York area. Now having the Hall of Fame coach right here in Westchester County, what do you see that as an impact for Iona in terms of recruiting some local talent?
Yeah, somebody who's involved, obviously, with a lot of, knows a lot of local coaches for a long time. I can tell you they were really excited by this. There were people tweeting and on Facebook and Instagram, that were excited about him coming here. I've had people tell me that they can't wait to sit in on his practices, that they've either seen him in person before or that they've been so impressed by him from afar that they can't wait to just kind of whether it's pick his brain or watch him in action. So I think that's an indicator of just how excited people are going to be to have him here. And I think, obviously that trickles down to recruiting, right? That the idea of Rick Pitino walking in and recruiting, a player to his school is going to be exciting for high school coaches and for high school recruits, I would think as well. You even saw the way some of the current players reacted to him, about having a Hall of Fame coach. Isaiah Washington was excited. I was told by some people at Iona that Dylan Van Eyck, another player who I didn't mention who's coming back next year, he had returned home to the Netherlands this week with coronavirus going on, but that when he found out the news, he was excited. So, I think there will be a lot of players who are excited about this, and I think a lot of that excitement will come from their coaches who are a little bit in awe of Pitino, his success, and, what he's kind of done for college basketball over the years.
Certainly will be an exciting time now with Pitino at the helm of the program, but Josh, put in perspective for me the Tim Cluse era, 10 years, 9 of them active, 6 trips to the Big Dance, winning either the MAC tournament or regular season championship in 8 consecutive seasons. What was that time like for Iona, and how will we look back on it?
Well, first of all, I think that if you've been around Tim as much as I have or you have, you kind of know that the team really took on his personality, his identity. Klus and Pitino could not be more different in many ways. And, we all know Pitino is kind of like the flashy, high wattage millionaire coach, and I think that that Klus is kind of an everyman. He's a guy who, from what I was told, kind of driving the same car, living in the same house he did, 8-10 years ago when he took over in Iona, and that's just kind of who he is. He's very blue collar. He loves to coach. He likes to coach basketball players and to figure out what's going on in the game. And I think that was a personality that Iona really took on during his tenure. This is a team that played in his image and was tough and kind of no excuses. And yeah, last year we're under 500, and things didn't go great, but we rallied at the end of the regular season to get a share of the regular season league title and win the championship and go to the NCAA tournament with probably what I would think in those 9 years is his least talented team, or his least successful team at least. And I think that was just the way it was with Klus. There was no excuses. Didn't matter if we had 7 scholarship guys in uniform. That we were going to do the best we could, and I think that the way he was able to always pull the team together late in the season was really impressive and admirable. I think the fans came to almost expect that, and even last year where it didn't seem like that was going to happen, it did happen. So I think that was really what defined the Klus era. Not just their style of play, which everyone talks about when you talk about Tim Klus, and I think that's something that's an easy thing if you don't know the team that well to just be like, well, they played this style, they got 3-point shots up, etc. That wasn't the way the team was necessarily the last couple of years, and yet the team still made the NCAA tournament. And I think that's a testament to Klus. I also think if you see I'm sure you have, what some of his former players, whether it's Sean Armand or Ricky McGill or now E.J. Crawford, just graduating this year, what they said about him is a testament to the type of coach he was. And they were a program, they were a family, kind of supporting each other. Even guys like Aaron Roundtree, who was with him for 1 year as a grad transfer from Wake Forest. He's had so many great things to say about him and the way he resuscitated his career. And so I think that's what you're going to get from the Klus era. Not just all the winning and the success, but kind of a no excuses mentality. And obviously, they kind of built a really strong Iona basketball family, and that will be missed. And I think if I was a fan, that I would be somewhat apprehensive about is we had somebody who built such a strong culture here. We had somebody who was leading our team that I root for that was had done such a good job of kind of piecing it together every year, but also kind of building that thread throughout the years. It kind of the team, maybe the identity of that team changed, but the identity of the program never did. And now here's somebody who's coming in who you have to wonder, is he here long term? And I think that could be a little bit of a difference, at least in the short term for Iona College. And, we'll see how that changes. And that certainly wasn't something you had to worry about with Tim Klus. Obviously he was here 10 years, had probably opportunities to take other jobs, but he's somebody who liked where he was, liked where he lived, and liked his situation. And so there was a lot of loyalty there between Klus and Iona. We'll see if that changes now, but those are all things I think that are, something that will kind of carry through, from the Klus, carried through during the Klus era that, could be changing right now. So we'll see.
Coach Klus, certainly one of a kind and a legend in his own right. Josh, thank you so much for the time today.
Thanks, Ian.
He's Josh Thomson of the Journal News and Lohud.com. I'm Ian Sachs. Thank you for listening.